This isn't your typical trial footage. What you're about to hear is raw, real, and ripped straight from a federal courtroom. Cassie Ventura's unfiltered testimony from Day 5 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Reported first by Inner City Press. Viewer discretion? Strongly advised. This is for education, and it's about to hit hard. Cassie didn't talk about music, or fame, or their toxic history. What she described was far darker. Underground tunnels, hidden chambers, drug-fueled nights, masked women. Her words under oath were chilling, and when she spoke, the courtroom froze. This wasn't a story. It was a crack in the foundation of Diddy's empire, and the truth might finally be crawling out. Day 5 didn't feel normal. Reporters came early. Seats filled fast. Even the jury looked wired. Everyone knew what was coming. Cassie was back. This wasn't routine anymore. She entered slow, eyes locked, flanked by security. Calm, worn, ready. The judge called for silence. Then, the defense rose. Game on. The defense flipped the script. No softballs about love or fame. They dove straight into blueprints. Diddy's LA mansion, its layout, security systems. It felt weird, clinical. Then came the question that hit like a bomb. Miss Ventura, have you ever been inside the tunnel beneath the property? Silence. A beat too long. The courtroom sucked in air. Prosecution barked, "Objection!" Speculative, irrelevant. The judge waved it through. Cassie stared forward. "Yes," she said. The room cracked open. Whispers about tunnels had floated for months. Reddit sleuths, media jokes, crazy fan theories. But no one confirmed a thing. Not until now. One word, one witness. The defense lawyer didn't miss a beat. "And what did you see down there?" The whole courtroom leaned in. Cassie's eyes dropped. "I didn't want to go," she said. "He told me to follow. Said he had something to show. He was high. I was confused, but I followed." Cassie laid it out, fast. The entrance wasn't inside. It was hidden outside, masked by overgrowth near the pool. Just looked like a slope, part of the landscaping, until you brushed the leaves and found a hatch. What she found underneath? Burned into her memory. Concrete stairs, steel doors, and cold, real cold. "This wasn't a safe room," she said. "This was something else." She paused, but everyone could tell the story wasn't over. When she kept going, her voice didn't waver. That made it worse. Fluorescent lights, a long, sterile corridor, buzzing sounds, no windows, no bars, no signal. Not a house, an institution. Diddy walked ahead, mumbling, like he was trying to prove something. Cassie wanted to turn back. She didn't. His eyes told her not to. The keypad clicked, door opened, and Cassie stepped into a nightmare. A large chamber lit with red bulbs, cameras in every corner, leather furniture planted like props. The air hit her first. Bleach, sweat, something else. Not a lounge, not a club. This room had a different purpose. It felt clinical, cold, but twisted. Her voice didn't crack as she described it. Shelves stacked with props, masks, ropes, oils, latex outfits, a rack of clothes, brand new, untouched, mirrors above and below, padded walls, soundproof. None of it felt sexy. None of it felt staged. "This wasn't fantasy," she said. "It was control, all of it, built for power, his power." "Did you see anyone else down there?" the defense asked. Cassie paused, then nodded. 2 women, wigs, masks, one flat on a couch, motionless. The other sitting next to a camera tripod, still as stone. No names, no voices. Diddy called them performers. Cassie said she wasn't introduced. "I didn't stay," she told the court. "Said I felt sick and left." Back upstairs, she locked the door. Hours passed. Then Diddy showed up. His voice was cold. "You never saw anything. You don't repeat anything. That place is for me, not for you." She never went back, but she never forgot. It wasn't just one room. Cassie said there were more, 4 in total. One was pitch black, a bench in the center, chains bolted to the walls. The second had a mirror, floor to ceiling, and a strange digital panel beside the bed. She didn't know what it did. The third? Just a chair and a box of wires. That's when she told Diddy she was done. He didn't get mad. He laughed, said she wasn't ready, said it was too real. Then, as he opened the final door, he whispered, "This is where I bring the ones I own." Behind that door, she heard muffled sounds, not music, voices, twisted, warped. She didn't want to know. She left, shaking. Her clothes reeked of that place for hours. In court, Cassie said it flat out. She never told a soul. Not friends, not family. Why? Because I didn't want to disappear. That's how real the fear was. Like if she spoke, she'd vanish, just like the women she saw down there. The prosecution pushed. Why now? Her answer hit hard. Because it's not just about me. Because he's still doing this. And if someone else goes down there and doesn't come back. She stopped. The words just hung there. The judge called for a recess, but no one moved. No one even blinked. Because what Cassie just dropped wasn't a story. It was a warning shot. When court came back to order, the focus snapped from the underground to what happened upstairs, and it didn't get any better. The defense tried to spin it, painting Cassie's story as something she agreed to. They brought up freak-offs, a word pulled straight from her old texts with Diddy. On the surface, it sounded like a joke. In court, it didn't. Can you explain what a freak-off was? She nodded once. It was planned, always about sex, sometimes filmed, sometimes with strangers. Roles were assigned. Drugs? Sometimes mandatory. Then came the receipts, texts from Diddy. Game starts at 10 o'clock p.m., no breaking character until 8 o'clock a.m. Bring candles, wear a wig. These weren't one-offs. They were regular, twice a month, sometimes random, sometimes scheduled like work meetings. Did you agree? The lawyer asked. Sometimes, Cassie replied, but agreeing when you're high isn't consent. Half the time I couldn't even remember what happened. The prosecutor shifted focus, and the tone went darker. These so-called sessions, where did they happen? Hotels, homes. But then came the tunnel. Did any happen down there? Cassie looked down. Yes. One night stood out. She was ordered to wear latex, told to stay silent. If I spoke, I'd be punished. Strangers surrounded her, never named, just told to trust him. One text from Diddy read, "No safe word. I want control." Afterward, she felt like a shadow, used, erased. I deleted everything, photos, videos, not because I was ashamed, because I was scared. Like if I told anyone, something worse would happen. The questions turned chemical. What substances were involved? Cassie didn't hesitate. Opiates, ecstasy, benzos, weed, but mostly pills I didn't ask for. They were handed to her like candy, by Diddy, his staff. "It'll help you loosen up," he'd say. But what she felt wasn't calm, it was compliance. Fog, a dull silence. She remembered blacking out, waking up unsure of what had happened or who she was. The drugs weren't optional. They were routine, expected, weaponized. Cassie woke up on the floor, Diddy's Miami place, drenched in sweat, camera light still burning. "I didn't know how I got there. I didn't know who else was in the room." That's when the suspicion hit. "I think he was keeping videos." Diddy used to whisper, "You're mine forever now." At first, she brushed it off. Then it clicked. He wasn't just saying it. He was recording her. For control. The defense jumped in. "Did you ever see one of these tapes?" She nodded once. Just once. On his laptop. Me. 2 men. I had no memory of it. She begged him to erase it. He smirked. "I keep everything. For leverage." Cassie said the control didn't stop in the bedroom. If she left without telling him, her phone would blow up. 50 calls. If she ignored them, He'd threatened to destroy her. Then it got tighter. She suspected he told people around him to stop giving her drugs. He said I was stealing, but really, he was isolating me. She had no access to anything but him. Once she tried sneaking help, checked into a high-end rehab that posed as a spa, but he found her. He showed up and told them I was just being dramatic. She checked out the next day. In court, she said she tried to quit the pills on her own, but I couldn't, not with him still in my life. By afternoon, things took another turn. The prosecution asked, "Were you the only one?" Cassie didn't hesitate. No, not even close. She described other women at the freak-offs, some escorts, some strangers, even celebrities. They'd show up in black cars, some with masks, some already crying. I never asked who they were, I was too scared. She named Tiffany Red, a former friend, as a key witness. Tiffany was at my 29th birthday. She saw it, told me it wasn't okay. I didn't listen. The court then read from Tiffany's open letter, years later in Rolling Stone, where she called Diddy out. She tried to speak. They shut her down. Did the staff know? The prosecutor asked. Cassie didn't blink. Yes, his assistants helped. They scheduled women. They cleaned up. Maybe they didn't know everything, but they weren't blind. She told the court about the moment her illusion of privacy shattered. One assistant walked in on us once, didn't flinch, just said, "Sorry, boss." The defense claimed that didn't prove anything, but Cassie hit back. This wasn't about sex. It was about control, power. He needed to feel untouchable. And why the silence? Her answer cut through the courtroom. Because he's Diddy, and we thought no one would believe us. But now people are listening. Just when it felt like the worst was over, it wasn't. The prosecutor opened a new line. "Did Mr. Combs ever hit you?" Cassie stared down. "Yes, many times." The room froze. Everything else, tunnels, freak-offs, drugs, had been twisted. But this was flesh and blood, bruises, blood, silence, no metaphors, just pain. Please subscribe for more video because the story is far from over.